You are now tuned into the number one mindset, leadership, and personal development podcast. And if you're tuning into this episode, make sure you are also a subscriber. So the minute a new video drops, you get the opportunity to get that video directly into your inbox and you have the opportunity to watch the video immediately. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity to hear something that might potentially change your life, put you on the right path, or help you change directions. So success leaves clues. There's clues out there, whether it comes from me or someone else. Make sure that you are paying attention to the clues that are out there. And if this is your first time viewing my channel, may you come open-minded. I hope that you learn a ton of knowledge. And I don't want you to be someone that listens to every single podcast that's out there in the leadership, self-help, personal development space and not do anything. I need you guys to come on my page. And if you're watching this page, to start posting your content, start getting your material out there. Start becoming comfortable speaking and communicating. All right. I don't want followers on this page who are afraid of creating content, but are masters at just consuming content. I don't want masters at consuming content. I want masters at producing content, right? I want there to come a point where you're not taking in my content every day or every other content creator out there. You're actually creating your own content. You're building your own community of people. That is my goal from every individual that comes on my page because we are all gifted. We've all been placed here because we have a gift. I don't know what your gift is. But if you're watching this show, I want you to let you know that you have a gift. You are special. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone because the gift you have will be different from the gift someone else has, right? And if we have the same gift, if someone has a gift of being a basketball player, you're not going to be the exact same player. If someone has a gift of being a podcaster, you're not going to be the exact same podcaster. If someone is in the leadership, personal development, and mindset space, they're not going to be the same as me. It might be similar, but you cannot be the exact same as someone else. Remember, you are unique. No two individuals are the same. You might look the same because maybe you're a twin of someone, but you will be different from that twin. Nobody is the same. We are all unique. And once you realize that you are unique, that gives you power to go out there and produce something. All right. So if you're tuned into this episode and you're a little bit confused, or you're a little bit, I would say not even confused, but scared to post the content. Get that content out there. And I'm going to emphasize that all throughout the year. All throughout the year, I'm going to emphasize you guys to shoot that content. You'll never be perfect. I say it on almost every episode. I still to this day come on episodes and I'm a little hesitant. I still to this day come on episodes and I lose track of what I'm going to say. It happens to me as well too, even though I've been doing this for a couple of years. So it's definitely going to happen to you. So don't be afraid to produce content. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of your learning. Okay. It's part of the process. With that being said, you're going to go through a process and you need to trust that process. Okay. Trust the process that you're going through because when you're going through a process, it might not always look good. When you're going through that process, it might look ugly or it might look like you're struggling. But at the end of the day, to get to that finish line, you have to go through that process. And a lot of times people are going through that process and it's hard and they quit. They're going through the process and they stop. But then if you stop during that process, if you quit during that process, you're never going to get to your destination. You're never going to get to your end goal. So the key is to really enjoy the process, right? You don't have to understand everything about the process. The process that I'm going through, the process that you're going through, don't try to understand everything in that process, but know in your mind that this is a process that I have to go through to get to where I want to get to. There will always be a process. You cannot skip the process. The only way to skip the process is to completely quit, is to give up. And you're not someone like that. If you're watching my content, if you've been following me, you're not someone that's going to quit, that's going to give up. You're someone that's going to pivot. You're someone that's going to be flexible. You're someone that's going to adapt because that's the type of people that I want watching my content. If you're someone that just has a mindset that nothing's going to work out, if you just have a mindset that good things aren't supposed to happen to you, then I'm not the person for you. This is not the channel for you to be watching. I'm sure there's creators out there that have a negative view of life. I'm sure there's creators out there who are nihilistic. I'm sure there's creators out there who don't believe that things will ever happen for you. Maybe you need to find that creator and follow that creator. But I'm a content creator that believes in abundance. I'm a content creator that's gonna preach about being a leader in your life, having the right mindset, going after your goals and your dreams. But I'm also a leader that's gonna tell you that you're gonna face obstacles. There's gonna be challenges. And there's gonna be times when you're going to want to quit. You're gonna want to give up. But you cannot give up. You don't have to give up. You just have to remember that the hard that you're going through, the struggle, the trials, whatever it is all part of the process. And I heard Tony Robbins say one time that if you're not having problems on this earth, you probably don't exist because life is full of problems. You're going to go through problems when you don't have money. You're going to go through problems when you have money. The problems don't just stop all of a sudden when you have money. And I want to add to that point to say, don't chase the money. Go for what fulfills your soul. Go for your passions, and the money will follow you. Because when you're super passionate about something, when your soul's calling you towards something and you produce that, people can really feel that, right? They can feel that this is what that person is meant to do or meant to be, right? And those are the people that become experts in that field, experts in that industry. You can't be an expert at something you absolutely hate. You gotta love what you do. Too many people spend too much time in positions that they hate. And I get it. We all have to pay our bills. But while you're in a position, if you're in a position that you absolutely hate, you can't stand, create a plan to get yourself out of that, to pivot towards what you actually want to be doing, what you're passionate about, what you love to do, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be what I like. It doesn't have to be what your mom or your dad or your cousin or your sister likes, but it has to be what you like. And you can work on that while you're at your job. Because today, if you go on TikTok, some creators will tell you to quit your job. And I'm not hearing it as much as before. I used to hear it a lot often in the past where they said, just jump into whatever you're doing, and then you'll figure it out there. But that's not the smartest thing to do because some people can jump and without that parachute and they survive. But some people jump and they end up sinking, right? It's not for everybody because everybody doesn't have that mental strength, that mental capacity. Certain people have gone through certain things in life that have made them who they are. So they're able to sustain the hard. And some people maybe they didn't go through as much adversity or challenges. And they say, you know what, I'm going to quit this job. And then they quit, and then something hard happens, and they don't know how to react to that. So everybody's different. It's not a generic advice or general advice for everyone. Everyone's different. Someone could jump and be okay. Someone could jump and not be okay, right? So you have to know yourself, and the key is knowing yourself. But the best option, in my opinion, is to keep a job that you have and develop something that you're really passionate about as not while you're at your job, but off hours of your job. Instead of consuming all this different content, instead of watching Netflix, instead of doing things that just drain your energy, like going and partying every single weekend, start creating the life that you want. Because instead of making those industries rich, those individuals rich, why not make yourself rich? You're going to the club and investing $200, $300, $400 on a bottle every weekend, some people. And that money could be actually invested into, let's say, the stock market or real estate, whatever it is, which can build your own wealth. But sometimes we use those outlets as an escape. We want to get away from the life that we don't like, the life we're living that we don't like. So then we run to the club to numb that. And then we have to do it all over again on Monday without making any changes throughout the weekend or the time that we had off to make a change because we spent that time doing something else that's going to keep us in the same position. So you really have to be disciplined and realize that that type of activity, that type of action is not going to help you advance in your life. And I know if you're watching this video, you're someone that wants to advance in your life, you're someone that wants to get to the next level, you're someone that wants to grow and improve and create a life for yourself that you actually want, the life that you want. And that's very possible for everyone, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of discipline, sacrifice, determination, will, gut, all of that to get yourself to the level that you want to get to. But there's so many mentors out there. The blueprint is out there. All you need to do is get to work. It's that action. It's all about the action. All right. The first step is to get your content out there because a lot of content creators watch me. They're struggling with maybe it's the fear or self-doubt, or they're thinking, if I post this, is anyone gonna watch it? I've been there. I've been in your shoes. And you know what I did? I posted it anyways. And if no one was listening, I was listening. I was watching myself. I was analyzing how I can improve, how I can get better. I'm not a pro, I'm not an expert, but I'm definitely not the same person I was 3 years ago on the microphone because I've been studying my craft, studying myself, and that's what it takes, right? So post that content, get it out there, and just keep posting, keep developing, keep watching yourself, keep studying yourself, keep making tweaks, keep pivoting. You don't have to quit, just tweak some things, pivot. You'll see what posts work, what posts don't work. You'll learn. Study yourself, just like you study a subject in school, study your own self, study your own content. We go to school, we study the curriculum they give us, and we study extremely hard so we get that curriculum or get that grade so we can get to the next level. So it's the same thing with your content, with yourself. Is to get yourself to the next level, you have to study yourself. What are some things you have to do to improve to get yourself to the next level? And then you make adjustments, okay? So subscribe to that channel, my channel, hit the like button, post your content, and then share this video, all right? Marcel Hyde Mindset. Peace and love. Until next time.